So today we're going to fix up the last of this rotten wood that we have on this mobile home here. If you've been following us, you'll know that we've replaced about the bottom foot all the way around this home here, just of rotten wood that had to come off, and the wood that was rotten was just basically the siding and a little bit of sheeting underneath. And so it's nothing really structural, but this is the last corner here that we have to deal with before we start putting our siding on. And we have to finish this up here so we can get our soffits in. So soffits are coming up next, and then it'll be the siding. But we have to deal with this corner here. Is before the overhang went on, water was coming off the roof and running down here and accumulating on there was a landing down here that came out, and the water was splashing on that and splashing back on the building, which caused all of that damage there. This damage that you see up on the corner here that's not rotten. What that is there was some siding that was on there, some wood siding, and when they built this at the factory, they glued it on. They glued the siding onto this T111 siding. And so when we pulled it off, it pulled pieces of that T111 off. So it looks really bad, but that is actually fairly sound there. Right at the very top, it's not. Those holes that you can see in there, that's from woodpecker. We had a woodpecker in the park here that just kind of went crazy in the spring, and he just was like pecking everything. You can just see like where he's been going at it there. So this, you can see before we put the skirt board on and did that, you can see here where we replaced this underneath here. So this has all been fixed through here. So now today what we're going to do is we're going to peel off this siding here and put some new sheeting on it. This is an outside plug here. You can see this outside plug it's quite high off the ground. And we're going to try and do something with that. That's the original plug that came with the home, so it's a long ways up there. That plug is an outside plug that's on its own circuit breaker, so we want to keep that plug. We're adding some plugs on the outside. You can see over there on the deck we've got one there, so that's a convenience plug for if you're on the deck and you want something plugged in, you can plug it in there. Around the back of the home, we're also installing a plug on the outside so that if you want to plug in an electric lawnmower or something, you can. And then there was a light up there, an exterior light, so we didn't really want it there because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So what we've done with that lamp is we're relocating it over there. So that's the job for today. I'm going to get into it, and I'll show you as we go along here what kind of the process. But basically, we have to start by peeling this off. You can see if you look up, there's going to be a stud right there. I don't know if you can see it on the video or not, but there's a row of screws up there. So we'll start by pulling those screws out, and then we'll pull. There's another row of screws there, and we have another row of screws there. So I'm not sure how far back we're going to go with this, but probably, we'll probably take it back to that seam there just to the left of that lamp, and then probably, a couple feet up here to make sure we're all into sound wood. Okay, so I've pulled that T111 siding off here, and this is what it looks like. This is what I found underneath. And so those studs, the framing is actually in pretty good shape. There's just a little bit of damage you can see on the face of the 2x4. Those are actually 2x6s. There's 2x6s in this wall, so there's lots of wood left there structurally. We just need to fortify this in order to get something for our siding to attach to. So you can see down there, that's where we previously repaired it before we put the skirt board on there and that tar paper. So that was done before. And what we're doing now is we're just working down to that. So I've cut out a 4-foot swath here, and you can see this has got 4x8, so a 4x8 panel is going to fit right in there. And there's my panel down there ready to go up now that I've repaired those studs. And so it's all dry in there. It looks good. So I'm going to put this panel on now. You can see that electrical outlet that was like way up here before, now I've relocated it down there, so it's a little bit easier to reach from down on the ground. And once I get this panel in place, then I'm going to cut this other section out up here. And this is the old light here. This is where the old lamp is. And so we've relocated that lamp now over to there, which is kind of a more appropriate place for it, rather than in the middle of nowhere. But around the corner on the front of the home, there's another lamp which we are going to keep, and that's going to illuminate our address number. So we have to keep this box. So what's going to happen with this box is it's going to get turned around and it's going to face into that closet. There's a closet on the other side there, and it's going to become a junction box. So junction boxes have to remain accessible, so it will be accessible from the closet. Gotcha! Okay, so now you can see how we've taken that old electrical box that was for that outside lamp, and we've turned it around now, and on the other side of this is a closet, and so that's going to become a junction box now for connecting these two lamps together. And you can see here, this up here was a woodpecker hole, and then there's another one down here, and you can see that the woodpecker got in there and took all that insulation out of the wall. So now, before I put the sheeting back on here, we're going to have to put some insulation back in there. And so here's that box that we turned around from the outside, facing inside. So now this will just be in a closet. This is going to be a closet here for this bedroom. And you can see basically where I've got those the pencil line. There's one there and one there. Those are going to be shelves in this closet. And so that junction box will be in between the shelves. There will be a cover put on that, and so then we'll meet our electrical code for having this this thing accessible. Well, folks, I got rained out again, but I got this all undercover here. Didn't quite get it all nailed off, but there it is, all repaired, ready for house wrap and the new vinyl siding. Still have to finish up some work here. I've got to finish this framing. You can see how I've got this framing in up here, and so I have to finish this off along the way down here and put the soffit backing in. But that's it. I just wanted to show you how I cleaned up that mess. It wasn't near as bad as it looked. We had a woodpecker that just kind of went crazy in there. I guess he was looking for the insulation to feather his nest. And as far as the framing itself, the framing was in pretty good shape. All the rot was basically on the old T111 siding. So you can see there where the new OSB is meeting the old T111. And so now we have an even surface to go ahead and put our new vinyl siding on. So it's pouring rain again. It took me 2 days to get this done because I got rained out before. But that's the process there, folks. Thanks for watching.